Guys, iPadOS 26 just landed and it straight up stole 5 features from the Mac that completely change how you see and use the iPad. Windowed apps, a persistent menu bar, a full-on preview app, and this isn't just a redesign. This is Apple giving the iPad Mac-level power, and it's available right now in the public beta. So whether you're a student, creator, or someone who's just tired of bouncing between devices like many of us are, here are 5 features now built into iPadOS 26 that might have you thinking twice before buying a new Mac. First, we have windowed multitasking, and it's finally here. No fake window snapping, no slide over with extra steps. I'm talking real movable windows on the iPad. You can resize them, stack them, tile them, it doesn't really matter. You can float them, however many windows you want. You're gonna get at least 4 windows. More likely you're gonna get 8 if you have a newer iPad. Now this can be activated in a few different ways. First, it can be enabled by opening up Control Center and then tapping on the windowed mode toggle that's there by default. Or you can head to Settings and go to Multitasking and choosing windowed mode and do that manually. Once enabled, drag bars appear in the bottom right-hand corner of each app, but you can actually use your finger or the mouse to resize them from any side that you prefer. And unlike Stage Manager, each window will stay exactly where you left it when you close it. And the stoplight style controls that you know, the little red, yellow, and green buttons, they're here for the party too. For the first time ever, you can run apps on the iPad like you do on a Mac. And just like on the Mac, the real magic happens when you tap on the green stoplight. Here you'll see the different tiling options, including split view, tri-split view, and tiling up to 4 windows on your display. And you can fine-tune the Windows layout by dragging or trigger the resize handles. Now it brings granular level of control to the iPad that has sorely been missed for a very long time. Now this means real overlap, real flexibility, and windows that finally fit to how you think. Now if you've been waiting for the iPad to grow up, I think this is the moment. And just like iPadOS is finally giving us real multitasking, you absolutely need the right tools to actually be able to use it well. Because trust me, trying to juggle floating windows on a flat desk, this is not it at all. That's where today's video sponsor, Moff, comes in. Their dynamic folio gives you 4 distinct viewing modes, so your iPad stays locked in the exact angle that you need, whether you are writing, presenting, or just watching a video. All right, so here's how I use the dynamic folio. First, we got creation mode, which gives me the 30-degree writing angle, which is perfect for whenever I'm using the Apple Pencil or working behind 2 different windows. There's theater mode, which is a 60-degree angle, which is great for reference materials, Zoom calls, or presenting video edits to a client. Then we have writing mode, which is a low angle I use on the couch whenever I'm planning or journaling using my Apple Pencil. And then finally, there's browsing mode, which holds the iPad nearly upright. Now, it folds flat, looks clean, and actually keeps up with the new multitasking tools in iPadOS 26. It even has a built-in magnetic pencil holder that snaps on, stays put, and doubles as a ruler when you need it. So you can check out the dynamic folio using the link in the video description, and Moff is giving you 10% off when you use the code Michael10 at checkout. Moff, thanks again for sponsoring today's video. Now, number 2 is just magnetic. It is a system-wide menu bar, and it is finally on the iPad. This is one of those features that changes everything from how apps feel to how they work. You get exactly what you would expect from a Mac, except for on the iPad. File, edit, view, window, help, the gang is all here. A quick swipe down from the top to reveal it, and it even works in third-party apps. Developers will need to update their apps for it to be taken advantage of before it comes out for the public release, but it does give you access to app-level functions, and it's especially useful for anyone out there using keyboard shortcuts. It's a smart nod to macOS without feeling like a forced transplant. It doesn't bounce around, it doesn't fight you like slide over used to do, which, by the way, completely gone in iPadOS 26. It gives every app room to grow. Now there's structure, hierarchy, clarity, and when you combine this with what we talked about before, window multitasking, it feels like a real desktop experience on the iPad. All right, guys, let's take a quick break. If you are trying out iPadOS 26, I put together a free setup guide so you can get the most from your iPad. It includes my multitasking settings, how I style my icons, widgets, and the features I always enable first. Totally free. Link is in the description. Grab it now and let's keep going. Number 3 is about the Files app, and it finally feels like a real file system. Custom folders, you got it. Column views can now be resized, and sorting is as dynamic as Finder can be. Name, size, date, etc. It doesn't really matter. You can color code folders, and you can even use an emoji for quicker visual navigation. To do so, just long press on any folder, tap Get Info, and you'll see a new option to set a color and add an emoji. It's subtle, but it makes your workspace feel more personal and way easier to scan visually. Now you can pin folders directly to your dock, including frequently accessed cloud documents or your iCloud desktop, which is huge if you've used to jumping between locations. To do so, just drag the folder from the file sidebar down to your dock and hold it for a second. It'll stay there just like an app, and once in your dock, you can long press on the folder to change the sorting, how it's viewed, as well as show the folder in files, or even remove it from the dock completely. And now you can set default apps for specific file types. So if you'd rather open PDFs in PDF Expert instead of Preview, you got it. If you want to open up your photo files in Lightroom instead of Photos, done. In the set default apps, long press on a file, tap Get Info, and then choose your preferred app from the dropdown. This brings a whole new level of flexibility to the iPad that has never been seen before. It makes managing files feel less like a mobile workaround and more like a Mac. And if you want to go deeper, I've got a full iPadOS 26 files deep dive coming soon with tips, workflows, and folder setups that will actually save you time. So if that sounds useful to you, make sure you get subscribed because you don't want to miss it. And in the new windowing tools, plus the menu bar, and then suddenly you add in files, it feels like a command center. I don't know. You can snap windows side by side, quickly move files between folders, drag into apps, split view, tiles, all of it. It's fast, it is fluid, and it's finally powerful enough to take file management seriously on the iPad. Now we are already at number 4, and it kind of feels like it's snuck up on us at this point because we've been so busy talking about files and menus, we forgot to give our full attention to the one thing that's quietly doing the most amount of work, and that is multitasking. Because in iPadOS 26, it quietly unlocks something huge. We're talking background tasks, for real. Previously, exporting required the app to stay open in the foreground, essentially locking you to whatever you were doing for that export for somewhere up to 30 minutes. It sucked. Now with windowed multitasking, these processes continue uninterrupted, allowing for real multitasking. You can set the app in the background just like you can on macOS. Now, whether you're exporting a video, rendering a 3D object, or even something as simple as downloading multiple files at the same time, you do not have to sit there and wait. You don't even have to keep the app open. Exports run in the background. You can even get a live activity on the home screen or the dynamic island if you are using Stage Manager. It makes the iPad feel less like a walled garden and more like an actual computer that can juggle real work. Now, if you think that's you, let me know, because number 5 is my favorite, and I'm sure you're gonna love it as well. It is the Preview app. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, that Preview app. The same one you've been using on the Mac for years to sign documents, fill out forms, or to make quick edits to images and PDFs. It's now on the iPad, and it feels right at home on the iPad. Markup tools are baked in, autofills built in, and best of all, it is lightning fast. It syncs with iCloud. So read on one device, markup on another. It's simple as it can be. No more exporting the third-party tools or bouncing back and forth between apps just to circle something or sign a form. And if you're using an Apple Pencil, forget it. This is one of those apps that immediately makes the iPad feel more complete. It's smooth, natural, and responsive. The Preview app feels like Apple is finally admitting that the iPad is a real productivity device. And once you start using it, you're gonna wonder why it took this long for Apple to bring it to the iPad. iPadOS 26 is not just a fresh coat of paint, it is rethinking how the iPad works, and more importantly, who it's for. With these 5 Mac features now built in, the iPad is finally ready to be your first computer, not your backup device or not a device that you just only watch media on. If you want to learn my favorite features coming to the iPhone in iOS 26, you can watch this video right here. And if you're into the iPad content just like this, reviews, setups, deep dives, hit subscribe, because we are just getting started, my friends. My name is Mike, and I'll talk to you in the next one.